May all your dreams come true. The bibbidi bobbidi boo. It's a really funny video. Okay.
Riley comes in. Angel City on the ground.
Corner kick presented by Cedar Sinai. Shifty work into the box. And across. It's in. Oh, it's LaRue. It's a dream return.
Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City match preview pod and footy therapy pod featuring two podcast certified footy therapists. I'm your host, Mario Salazar, with my Lego loving co-host, Angelina Morales. And it is the season's here. It's time.
It's time, friends.
We are going to be talking about our home opener, which is this weekend, Sunday, 3/16. There, say your jokes now. Insert jokes here.
Insert Stone Cold Steve Austin jokes here.
Yeah. Against the San Diego Wave, at home, at BMO, at the weirdest start time ever, 3:50.
It's because of TV.
Yeah, but that's still a stupid start time. Like,
I'm used to baseball. It's like 4:07, 4:10. Like
that makes sense. Past the hour. 10 minutes before the hour? That doesn't make any sense. What show ends 10 minutes early?
A different soccer game.
Yeah. Okay.
I know too much.
All right. Well, broadcast schedule.
We're back like we've never left. Like,
if you can't be with us at BMO Stadium in hopefully beautiful Southern California weather, it will be streaming on ESPN2 on TV and on radio with iHeartRadio, which we were getting really worried.
and then
This
Angela
close to
found
the
the
season.
tab that says "Watch and Listen," and clicked on it, and found out that iHeart we still got our buddies.
I swear that didn't update till this week though, because I've been looking. I've been looking to update this script and it wasn't there. Angela calling me crazy. All right.
A little bit.
It's going to be on the radio in English at iHeartRadio. It's also going to be on KFWB 980 AM or KWKW 1330 in Spanish. It says one or the other. Like, I think 980 AM is the priority. And then if something pushes it from there, it will go to 1330. So
They also said on the website there's like either 15 or 30 minute pregame and postgame on the stations. It's just as a child of the 90s who grew up and listened to the radio on road trips, and if you needed traffic, you listened to KFWB News 98. And it's really weird that now this is a Spanish network and I don't even know what they play on there, but I'm just like, but like the time, it would beep. Like it would beep on the hour, and like so-and-so did the traffic report on the ones. Like it just like there's so many weird little radio nuggets left in my head. So times are changing.
the times I have forgotten my phone and I don't have anything else to listen to but the radio, and I forget that I have a radio in my car. And I only have FM radio. There's no AM radio in my car. That's the weird part. Okay.
That's weird.
There is opening day special giveaways. There will be another rally flag being handed out and the long-awaited schedule magnet.
Yay.
Everybody has been constantly asking for. I don't remember if they did one last year.
But they did.
Okay. But there will be a schedule magnet as a giveaway, most likely as you're leaving the stadium.
Yeah.
That would probably be the smart way to do it.
Flags on the way in, schedule on the way out, most likely.
Yep, exactly. All right. Things to know about the game, though. Game day. 3/16 is LA Marathon Day.
I think we're just going to have to get used to Angel City opening day being the same day as the LA Marathon.
Yeah.
So you can just run yourself to BMO.
Yeah. If you just leave the course and just tell them, look, I'm going to finish the rest of the course.
Like, I'm going to finish it,
BMO.
but I need to get to BMO.
I'm going to smell like ass when I get there, but
Whatever.
but whatever. We'll score a goal. There'll be beer thrown in the air in the stands, and we'll be fine.
Yep.
Okay, so same day as the LA Marathon. So if you're going to be going to tailgates, check the LA Marathon website, or check any of the routing apps, and make sure that your route is clear. Most of the freeway should be clear, but a lot of exits are going to be closed along the routes. It's not going to.
Last year, by the time people had really started getting to FanFest and everything, the 101, 110 closures were open again. Because the majority of the marathon, but it's still streets are closed. There's still a lot of detours. Make sure you leave early.
A lot of the closures are going to be wrapping up around 12 or 1 o'clock is when they'll start wrapping them up. Does it mean they're going to be done or clear? Maybe not, but they do have to clear the race course. So just be aware that the LA Marathon's happening that day. Take a look at closures. If anything, take the metro. Like we said before, you don't have to live near a metro station to take the metro. You can drive, just look for one of the metro stations that have parking. Like a parking structure attached to them or anything like that. Park at those and then just take the metro in, and it'll be a lot easier. The expo line drops you off right at the Rose Garden. It's like a 5-minute walk from there. It's great. FanFest is going to start at 12:30. Bring sunscreen. Most likely, it's going to be hot.
Whether or not it's 60 degrees out or it's 85 degrees out, wear sunscreen, because sun damage is real. There's a reason why people still think I'm 24. It's because I'm hydrated. I wear sunscreen and I mind my business.
People don't think I'm 24.
But no, good luck to all the runners, all the volunteers. Thank you for your hard work. For the folks planning the marathon, good on ya. There's so many good things happening in LA on Sunday, and one of them is our home opener, and it's going to be wonderful.
Yep. So bring that sunscreen. We're still in the late phases of winter, about to roll into spring. So a 4 o'clock game, not going to kill anybody because it's.
Bring a jacket though. It's going to be windy.
It's going to it'll get chilly a little bit, but a 4 o'clock game, you're not going to be burning. The sun's going to be okay. So, but
just be prepared.
Just bring the sunscreen, even if it's chilly outside, you can still get sunburned. So,
absolutely. I'm just so excited. We're also going to be posting all of the FanFest things that we see as they get posted. Supporter groups are going to be doing their thing per usual. The team is going to be putting on a whole bunch of stuff. So the more info will be posted all over our social medias as it comes out. But we just don't have it yet because it's Monday. Tuesday, it's a day before the game. It's earlier in the week.
Yes, I will be doing our tailgate roundup usually on a Friday, possibly on Saturday before the game, just so that people can see it on our Instagram or anything like that. But it's all going to be fun. We're going to be back at BMO. It's going to be the greatest atmosphere ever. Probably going to be sold out. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So that leads into, I wish I had Eva in here to give me a drum roll, but the very first Chaos Award of the season. Yeah. It's two things. It's a two-parter. So the first, and we've talked about it a whole bunch, is the entire off season. The off season in its entirety was insane. Trades, new leagues popping up, new tournaments popping up, lawsuits, coaching, everything. It felt very like Oprah's favorite things era. You get to this, everybody gets in everything because there's so much going on. And then my second one is potential, because potential will kill you. It's one of those, it's a brand new season. Who the hell knows? Everything could be great. Everything could be terrible. I think it's just going to be great. I genuinely think this season across the league is going to be insane.
Yeah. Across the league, it's going to be great. I think, again, with the whole American sports and parity, that's the great, that for whatever the double-edged sword it is the great thing that kind of keeps everything exciting. it could be that Orlando runs the table again, but it could be that
we do.
because of roster rules and stuff like that, they may not. So, yeah, the potential is there. We did a whole breakdown of all of the NWSL teams looking forward through the season, their kind of moves, their losses, their wins, all of that good stuff. And then we did one special episode of a Angel City deep dive. So go check those out if you haven't, and get ready for the season.
Yeah. So what other cool stuff got announced, Mario?
So just not too long ago, maybe about a week ago or something, there were two major announcements by FIFA, the organization we love to hate.
It's accurate.
I mean, it's, yeah. There is going to be the FIFA Women's Champions Cup, and it's going to be introduced in 2026. It's the best clubs from each confederation, and they're going to be competing for a brand new trophy. And then there's also going to be the inaugural FIFA Women's Club World Cup. It's going to be held in 2028.
You know, I'm just going to end up calling that the World Cup because it's WCWC.
Yeah. Let's call it that's it. That's
World
what
Cup,
we're going to call it from World Cup. So just real quick highlights about what this is. And if you guys want us to deep dive, I can deep dive into it. So just,
and then once it happens, we're going to have 1 million episodes about it. So
yes. So, we're definitely going to be here in 2026 and 2028 when all this happens. So, yep, we will be here. All right. So the Women's Champions Cup, it's going to bring together the 6 continental champions from the season preceding. And all of these are the announcements and rules that they've set up for the first iterations of these things, leaving themselves room to modify if needed going forward. Okay. Jill Ellis had a announcement about this, but who cares?
Yeah.
Okay, so full season proceeding will put you into the tournament. All 6 continental clubs will be facing off. The Champions Cup will happen every year except for the World Cup years, because that one happens every 4 years, just like the World Cup. First year will be in 2026. It's actually going to happen in late January, early February. What else do we have? Whole bunch of details on who qualifies. Essentially, CONCACAF, which is what the NWSL is a part of, which I'm really interested in how the USL is going to factor into all of this.
And the Canadian League.
Well, okay. The CONCACAF has some guaranteed spots into it.
Interesting.
The CONCACAF Champions Cup, right? Because every league has their own Champions Cup, and this is like the Champions Cup.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what our federation CONCACAF does now, because like we include Mexico, we include the NWSL, but now we're going to have Canada and the USL. So CONCACAF's going to have to figure that out, but there's still only going to be one spot for CONCACAF. So CONMEBOL, which is South America, is going to have a spot. UEFA, which is Europe, is going to have a spot. And then Asia, Oceania, and Africa are all going to basically do play-in tournaments.
Wow.
To get to whittle down theirs to get to the Final Four. So
that's going to be dope, honestly.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing. Hopefully it also encourages more growth of the sport everywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's going to be amazing.
And I think that's the goal.
Yeah. And then the World Cup. It's kind of new. It's kind of new. It was originally announced and scheduled for 2026, but I don't know why they're not doing it anymore. So it's now scheduled to take place in 2028.
Which is odd because it's an Olympic year, but okay.
And then it's going to feature 19 clubs, 6 clubs, one from every federation is going to have a play-in spot, and then the 13 other spots will be allocated to all the confederations. I believe CONCACAF gets 4 total. So 3 are guaranteed in the actual tournament. 1 is a play-in spot. And then once they play in the group stages, the normal kind of World Cup type bracket where you do your group stages.
Insane.
Top 2 of each group go into the bracket and then do a playoff thing.
I'm just gonna say I wish they had named these differently, because the Women's World Cup is WWC, and now the Women's Champions Cup is WCC, and then what is it called? The Women's Club World Cup is WCW. Like, guys, for folks who
there's going to be so many wrestling things when it comes to
yeah, so many wrestling references. So like, I feel so bad for anyone who deals with dyslexia. Like, what? They're just the same letters. Oh no.
I know I'm gonna screw it up so many times.
Oh, same.
And I think that's why I like your idea of just calling it the World Cup because but yeah, it's gonna be crazy. We'll talk more about it when it actually comes around. But the fact that both of these tournaments have been like fully solidified, not concepts.
That's a big deal.
Concepts of a tournament. It's actual tournament, actual dates put down. Like the World Cup will take place in January, February of 2028, and the first Champions Cup will happen in January, February of 26. So dates are set.
Yeah.
Venues might not be, but like it's on the calendar.
It's on the calendar, which is the most important part, because at least one venue will be open. You know, like it's one of those, they'll find a place to put it. But yeah, the growth of the game is so exciting right now, and it'll just be interesting to see how all this unfolds.
Yep. So normally we would go through, in the middle of the season, we'll go through standings and we'll go through how well we've been doing and how well everybody else is doing. But you know what? None of that yet. So let's talk about San Diego.
Yeah, so this match, I'm actually really excited because I have a feeling we get to see both of these teams like essentially brand new. There is a lot of new in Angel City, a lot of youth in Angel City. San Diego is a completely different team. No Alex Morgan, no Jaden Shaw, no Naomi Gurma. Like, big names have retired or left the league or left the team or whatever. New coaching. So much new in San Diego. So I, like, in trying to figure out what to talk about, I was like, I don't know, because what is happening? Like, I don't know who these people are. But we'll get to a little bit more into detail with San Diego players and what to look forward to with them in a little bit. But yeah, lots of new goodness, honestly. Like, it's just good to see this much transition and this much like growth, because there's a lot of young players on both teams. So I'm really excited to see how this fleshes itself out. There's a lot of leadership and a lot of veteran leadership, but there's also a lot of youth and youth leadership in that. We have, you know, you've got Mel Barcenas, you've got Kennedy Fuller, people who are playing in the USA system already. Like, they have this experience, but they're like 17. It's like, what? Okay.
all this soccer knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah, and they're children. They're probably like, oh my God, she's so old. I'm like, I know, because I could be your mom.
Look, we know the age group that got excited for that Tamagotchi announcement. Like,
it was me. I know.
I
I
had my little frog Tamagotchi. Like, you know, yeah.
Oh, I had so many. I had the Digipets. I had Tamagotchis. I am the demographic for these. They're gonna sell out in like 4 seconds. I have to get to the Fan Fest early if I want to get one, or see if they're available online and just order it online. And I don't need it that day, but I'm getting it. We all know I'm a little bit of a what is a word that isn't inappropriate to say for merch? I love merch. I'm a connoisseur.
We have the explicit tag. It's okay.
I'm a merch whore. Like, I love good shit. Like, I love good shit. I love.
that's fully where I was expecting you to go with. So I'm glad that like we were on the same wavelength of like, yep, yeah.
Yeah, like
Choice of words.
I love good merch, and this is fantastic. Like this is such a cool partnership with Bandai and Angel City. Anyway, back to the team because I could talk about this for hours. So right now our interim head coach is Sam Lady, and he Cameron Nia posted a few like snippets from an interview with him, and he basically said, expect to see more of what we saw in Coachella. Fast, organized, ready to go. And I'm like, yes.
Which we loved. Like
yes,
what we saw in
loved it.
Coachella was great.
Like I put in our notes in all caps, I like that. Like, yes, we had a goal, we had a mission. He said that like to look forward to pushing the ball is like just getting feisty and getting ready to win the ball every time, like make teams uncomfortable. Angel City make other teams uncomfortable. Like, let's go. I'm so here for it. I'm so excited. Like, I'm just really excited about this season, guys. I don't know what it is. You can't convince me to believe that this will not be a good season.
I think we also have the benefit of like, okay, we're prepping for these episodes. We're kind of looking into it. We're researching a little bit more. For the casual fans that we're talking to and stuff like that, like they know the season's coming. They have their tickets ready. Like they're gearing up for it. But we've been like digging into it, and so we're hyping ourselves.
I'm like,
up.
yeah. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm so excited.
I think when you take a look at these last 3 episodes, the NWSL preview,
We're just getting a little bit more amped every single one.
Like the last episode, we were a little like,
but even still
like getting excited. But
yeah, like that's the thing too, and we talk about this a lot. I have no issue with critiquing a team, but like there's a difference between critiquing and being like, I don't know what's gonna happen, or this isn't great, without being like they're the worst thing on the planet. Like there's a big difference in that.
Critiquing and talking shit.
Yeah, not the same thing.
And I think shit talking is a whole nother category, but
I agree.
Not the same, right?
No.
And I think we like to see ourselves as critiquing. Like there's been plenty of times that we've been hyped for the team. There's been plenty of times where we're like, what the hell just happened?
Right. And the critique comes from evidence-based observations. AKA the last 3 years. Like we've seen some shit. But genuinely, like everything LA has gone through, everything the world is going through, we have this team of some resilient and determined women. And I'm just like, I'm so excited. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I'll cry. Like my eyes are getting, damn it. I just cuss so much. It's the first episode. I hate this. Oh my God.
I need to have like a little sound effect for
just cry ball emoji. Like, Angel's talking about sports again. But no, genuinely, I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. And I get to see so many friends. Like, I think that's part of it. I'm so excited to like see Vero, see Richie, see Alyssa, Doug, and Josie. Like my friends. Like, granted, I've seen all of them this off season, but at the same time, it's not the same.
It's very much community. I think when the team in marketing speak talks about community.
Marketing FC, let's go.
Yep. But then when we're also talking about community, like the new community kits.
It's what's up.
And I think there's truth to all of that. Of course, there's like the corporate spin to it, but I think there's truth to that whole community aspect of it. Yeah. Everybody likes going to these games. Hopefully nobody feels like they don't belong there. Like, you know, the atmosphere is great and you look forward to the people. And especially if you're a season ticket holder, you've got your seat. You've got the people around you. Yeah. You've got your community right there. We've talked to plenty of people that have tickets in different parts of the stadium. They're like my crew, my my
we're
113
starting-
crew. Like it's all fun.
We all have our little clubs. It's like Club 227, Club 113. Like everybody's like, oh no, this is where I sit. Or like I'm in the supporter section. I'm over here. It's like I'm in the sunset deck. Like, okay, fancy. I want to sit down. Like I want to kick it. But yeah, the community that this team has built within the fans is so cool. Like I literally spent the Oscar Sunday at someone who listens to the podcast who has since become a very, very good friend, like at her house. Like we just hung out for the Oscars / Mardi Gras. She's from Louisiana originally. So like we had gumbo, we had king cake, and we watched the Oscars and we're just like screaming. We were laughing so hard. It was such a good Sunday. And I'm like, I get to do this so often in like 2 weeks. It's so dope. But okay, back to the soccer of it all though, because my goal this season is to stay on track a little more. We're doing great, but both of these teams are depending on and investing in the youth, in the future of the soccer, the NWSL, all of it. And it's just really neat. It's really cool to see. Like you look at Angel City alone. I mean, San Diego has a fair share of players, but it's like Savvy King, Casey Phair, Kennedy Fuller, the Thompson sisters. Like we have all this youth and we're getting more and then loaning it out so they can develop. And like we have so much going on and on the back end. And it's so cool because they're learning from a generation of players that changed soccer. And that's the thing I think a lot of people don't quite understand if you weren't around in like from like 99 to 2015. You didn't see all the bullshit. You might have known it was there, but you didn't like see it. And now it's just really cool.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. And then we have all these returning players. We get a full season of Katie Zellum, CP for a full season, universe willing. Because I swear to God.
Don't even start. No. Okay. And then we've got June coming back.
Exactly. June's coming back. She's got so much to fight for. Like she's regaining the love of the game. She's fighting for her spot on the national team because Japan's it.
They're doing
so good.
Amazing. They just won the Shiba.
Yeah.
And June had a spot. And unfortunately,
and I feel like it's still hers, but it's always a spot you have to fight for in a national federation. Because
And unfortunately for the timing too, like she tore her ACL just before the Olympics. So like she missed out on all of that, you know? And it's like that's
our girl should have been there.
Should have been there. So super excited for her. Super excited to have Katie on the whole time. Kristen,
it's just so good.
We're gonna start the Lily Liebers, like the fan club, like for the bet. Like it's gonna be a thing.
Like she commented on last post, like message received, like let's roll, let's go,
let's roll, let's
go,
let's
like,
do it.
And I think that's the thing. Like everybody that we've heard from or like have seen clips from the team, like all this kind of stuff. Everybody's like, let's go. Like we're ready. It's not like, ooh, what's gonna happen? It's like, no, we know what's gonna happen. We have to take care of business. And it's like, okay, cool. Show up and show out. You know, we're doing it for LA. We're doing it for the well-being of all of our everybody's. Like, I think this is just something, honestly, that I've been looking forward to since the end of last season. Like, I'm just excited. Home openers are the best day. Like, opening day is my favorite day. It's opening day for soccer. Opening day for baseball is really soon. Opening day for the WNBA isn't really soon. Like there's so many opening days coming up and I'm just like, yeah. Anyway, I have to take a deep breath because I've been talking really fast and I'm forgetting to breathe. So.
All right. Well, I'll tee you up with some of these things so that you can take a quick little deep breath.
I got excited.
So if you're new here, we like to also give you a couple of players to watch, both on the visiting team or the team that we're playing, because we might be visiting, and our own team.
Yeah.
Just kind of, based on what's been happening, maybe someone's having a good time and we're like, hey, keep an eye. Maybe someone's coming back, all of that good stuff.
Maybe
but we'd
it's
like
just
to give
a
you
cool story. Like
Yeah.
you get to know the lore.
Yeah. So we'd like to give you a name. We'd like to give you the background or a little snippet of it. So let's keep going, because I mean, Angela and Eva are like knowledge vaults of like stuff, but like they're like the
We're sports encyclopedias.
I was gonna say you're the wrong kind of vault, because it doesn't stay locked away.
No.
It's like a broken vault. Like it's just kind of all coming. Like it's free for
It's a
everybody.
can
So
of worms. Like,
there you go.
hey, you know, if I have to have a brain worm, let it be a sports worm. Like that's fine.
All right.
But-
So let's talk about San Diego players to watch. We've got your first on your list is Maria Sanchez.
Yeah, so this is a big deal because she was part of big movement in the off season or at the end of last season, I should say. And she was a trade from Houston, which was like shocking when it happened. But this season, without Alex Morgan, without Jaden Shaw, who were like consistent, solid, reliable attackers and strikers, they're going to ask a lot from her. Like, that's just obvious. That's her role. That's, I think, the role she's used to playing wherever she's played. And so I think it'll be interesting to see how she works in the new system in San Diego and how the new system in San Diego works at all. But she's going to be a pivotal thing. Like, obviously, we're going to scout heavily, especially this game to start the season off with, like, the Chun Classico. Like, big deal. Big deal. We've played San Diego roughly 5,000 times in 3 years. So, like, there's a lot to fight for right now. I was going to move this up and I forgot to do it, but like history between the teams is storied at this point. Our overall like record doesn't show it as much because it's really even. So we've won 4 games against them. We've lost 3 and we've had 4 draws. So in 11 games, it's essentially the same. It's all boom,
in
boom,
3
boom.
years.
Yeah, in 3 years. And that's including the Challenge Cup and blah, blah, blah. But in league play, we've won thrice. We've lost twice. We've had 1 draw. So, like, let's just make it 4.
Yeah. Let's put a little notch on that
Let's
W
just,
again.
yeah, like 1 more dub. I don't think anybody would be mad. Because we could win in LA and then we win in San Diego. It's even better because we sweep. Who doesn't like sweeping?
We can bring out the brooms.
In sports. Like, but with San Diego, like I said, they're embracing the youth, and Mel Barcenas is a big part of that. She's been essentially like a phenom for them and helping push their youth development in San Diego. But I think this is going to have to be the year that she like steps up a little bit more because there's no Alex Morgan, because there's no, like same thing. Like they lost Abby Dahlkamper, who's like a fantastic defender, but like there's a lot, like I said, a lot of change in San Diego for a variety of reasons, which we've talked about. We're not going to get into today, but I think she's going to also have a bigger role and like a little bit of a leadership role at the same time because she's been there for a couple seasons. You know, like you look at their roster, how many players have been there longer than a year and a half? Not too many. You have Kaylin Sheridan, who's probably going to have the armband. They're like keeper extraordinaire. You have Dee Dee, who's a seasoned player, but she's been with us until like 10 minutes ago. You have Savannah McCaskill, same thing. Like you have players from other places. You have the experience of veteran players, but you don't have veterans in that system because that's a brand new system.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really interesting to see who steps up, which is also how I feel about Adriana Leon, who's the Canadian international they brought in. She's also a veteran forward. She has a chance to kind of like shift to a different leadership mentorship role because she's like an adult on the team. And I feel like that's a big thing for a lot of the older players in the league right now. It's like, you're not just the captain or a vet. Now you're like a mentor, and that carries a different weight, not in a bad way, but it's just different. Like to lead a team versus to mentor younger players is a big difference.
Yeah, it's essentially think about like, you know, when you start a new job and you know you're the junior person, like you're kind of doing all the menial things or all the kind of like intro things, and then as you keep learning, then you get more responsibility, and then now a couple years later, you now have someone under you that you're teaching, and like you know that's it's kind of the natural progression of all of this. But having a team like this and kind of becoming the default veteran.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like I looked at that roster and like I've seen these names, but not on this roster. You know, like it's just so wild. It's so interesting.
I was just going to mention that I recently saw a post by Allison Gale where she did like a really cool analysis of minutes played by players' kind of veteran status.
Oh, interesting.
It was interesting. I don't know really what it amounted to, but it was just a really interesting way to look at a team and see how maybe a team's profile leaned a little more towards towards rookies. And this doesn't mean like just straight this wasn't an age thing. This was a like veteran status thing. Like, are you brand new to the league? Because if you're brand new to the league, this league is different than playing in Europe, in England, in Spain. Like the tactics are different. The makeup is different. It's not to say one is better than the other. But this one's better, but it's going to be a different adjustment period, right? And so I believe that stat was like, if you were here in your first year from like transferring in, even if you were a veteran player, your kind of time on her chart, I believe, was more in the rookie status.
Interesting.
Of it all.
I need to go look
like,
that up.
So it was a really cool. And then you see Orlando was a very kind of even, a very even distribution. The part where I'm saying I don't know exactly if there's a lot of weight to this thing, it's just a really cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
Houston's chart was almost exactly to Orlando's.
But it's also like injuries and illness and like who's playing when and why and the matchups and things like that. So I'd be curious to see that same breakdown across like 2 or 3 years to see like is it similar or like under the same coach? Because like Angel City, you're going to have things everywhere because nothing made sense.
All right. So now that we've talked about San Diego, how about Angel City? Where do you want to start?
Well, based on the fact that we're like 30-40 minutes in, I'm going to try and be quick because like I said, we talked about the whole team, but now I just get to hype everybody up. Like I get to spend the rest of the season as
just
like
pure hype,
all gas, just like, yes. Okay. So I'm going to start with Casey Phair. She's one of the Utes, you know, like one of the baby children. She's a national team player for
South Korea. Yes.
South Korea. Yeah. Sorry. Wow. I was like, yeah. And then as soon as I was about to say it, I'm like, that's about to be wrong. It wasn't, but she's had a lot of international experience, like at the senior level. So like big time, but we were kind of thinking we should put her face on a milk carton over the last like season because where did she go? What happened? What was going on?
Yeah.
Rumors, but those kind of fizzled out after a while. Like nobody really knew what was going on. Regardless, in like the millisecond we saw her last year, it was okay. But like you don't have confidence in your play when you're not playing. And that's like across sport because you don't have the like
you don't have the minutes. It's all about minutes.
Yeah,
like
and you don't
you gotta have the minutes in your
energy
legs.
Coming into it. Because if like it's like when you're the one person on the team that doesn't play and then it's the last game of the season, there's 2 minutes left and your team's up by 5,000. Then you get to play. It's like, oh, sick. Thanks.
Third string keeper. That's what I'm telling you. just put me in coach at the last second.
Yeah. But when you're at this level, that super sucks. And it's such a weird place to be in. So I'm really excited to see the playing time she gets this season and how she looks, because in the preseason, she looked sturdy. She wasn't getting tossed around a lot. She, like, when you're a small human, it's really easy to just, and somebody goes flying. Or like when you're a large human playing small humans and you do this and they go flying, oh, well, too bad.
It's just physics.
Like, honestly, that's how momentum works. As somebody who was nicknamed the Wall in high school, I have extensive experience making smaller people fall down and setting screens. Like, legit. My Letterman jacket, it says Angela the Wall Morales. Like, it's a thing. Yeah, but like, that's what happens. But she didn't have the wispiness of youth. You know, like, she's put muscle on. She looks a lot more solid and a lot more sure. And to come in the preseason and look very sure-footed and confident, I'm excited. That means that there's more that happened in the offseason than we know. That she was working on stuff, that she was pushing forward, because it's like, I still have this opportunity. Whether you're stuck in a rookie contract or not, like, use it. Like, fight for that spot, because that spot is always up for grabs. And that's what it feels like she did. So I'm excited to see what happens with her this season. I really hope we get to see her play more. And I hope she shows out. Like I said, the last couple episodes, I just want my team to be good.
Yeah.
I don't care if you come in for 10 minutes. I don't care if you play 90 plus. Like, let's just be great.
I want my prediction of her just coming in and becoming like the unexpected bruiser of the team.
The
just
enforcer.
Like,
yeah,
just
exactly.
bodying everybody. You're like, oh, you didn't expect that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's Casey Phair. She's one of our forwards. She's like, when you see her playing for Korea in the national team and like in the international game, she looks fantastic. So I'm excited and hopeful that translates this season. We get to see her a lot more, because that'd be dope. I know there's a lot, like the same way that the Japanese community has embraced June and Hannah over the last couple seasons. Like, I'm excited for the Korean community out here to do the same for Casey, because it will happen, and it probably already is happening. We're just not seeing it yet because there's not as like big publicity around it.
Yeah. Again, minutes. Just
Exactly.
minutes on the pitch. That's all you need to kind of give them their spot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then when it comes to the keepers extraordinaire, Angelina Anderson, I'm so pumped. Like, it's her spot. And it's really curious. Everybody's like, there's no third keeper. Like, what are we doing? What's happening? Like, it's this big mystery. But I'm so excited, because right now it seems that like everybody's bought in to having her in goal. And I think that's really important, because a lot of us feel there wasn't necessarily a fair shot last season, given the onslaught that occurred the first 3-4 games.
Yeah.
And then what transpired the rest of the season. But there is no real veteran fallback anymore. I'd be like, okay, well, you know, we lost this game. You let goals through, so we have Dee Dee to put in. Like, it's on her shoulders now, which means the club has more faith in her, and they also have to have like continued faith in her. If there's a rough start, you just got to ride it through.
With it.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we still only have 2 keepers. So we have Angelina and we have Hannah. Mm-hmm. And that's it. You know, so again, you kind of want 3 on the roster. So
everybody's a little nervous. But no, I think she's going to be great. I think it's fine. I mean, granted, I hope we eventually pick up a third, but I have complete belief and faith in her. She was like record-setting keeper of the year in the Pac-12 at Cal. Like, she is fantastic in what she does. I think we're finally going to see her be able to step into that role, which I'm very excited for, because girl blocked a PK last season. Like, okay, like, let's go. So I'm here for it.
Yep.
Like, Angela rides for Angelina. Like, we are the same. We're both tall. We both got long arms. That's what we're here for. So I'm really excited to see how well she does, because I think she's going to have a great season, because she has the opportunity. Again, minutes on the pitch, and she's going to get a lot of them.
Yep.
As we found out, keeper minutes count. And then last but certainly not least, we have the newest newbies. So we've got the rookies, we've got the like youths that we brought in, but like the newest newbies out of all of them are Hannah Johnson and Riley Tiernan, who were signed post preseason, like in the last couple weeks.
After the Coachella matches.
Yeah.
So they were invitees.
Yeah,
or
and
invitees.
they really showed up. Like they realized this is my opportunity. I'm going to take it. Like they stepped into that moment, which is really hard to do regardless of age, regardless of opportunity. Like it's very hard to be given a chance. Jesus, here I go again.
I mean,
it's a big deal.
We're lucky enough too that if this keeps going for them and they're kind of showing up and taking advantage of that chance, this will be the second and third people that have kind of stepped up when needed, right? We were lucky enough to have Curry last year.
Yeah.
Just kind of step up exactly when she was needed, fill a spot that was a hole, and then did great at it.
Had a hell of a year.
And had a hell of a year. And then, you know, we're not going to talk about why. We don't know why she's not here anymore, but
we're also not going to talk about it because it's sad.
But the fact that we had exactly what you're saying is like we had this new player, that when the opportunity rose, stepped up and proved herself, was amazing. And the fact that we have this inkling of these two newbies, like really taking that to heart and kind of taking advantage of that, when it's, you know, they came in as not fully prospects, not fully
like an in between.
They were in between. They were like, hey, why don't you come practice with us for a while and then we'll see what shakes out. And from that, they were able to secure something, right?
Yeah, because Riley has an actual roster spot. Like she's signed to the team. Hannah has a weird name, but essentially she's a filler until somebody comes back because it's a hardship contract kind of thing, which sucks, but that doesn't mean that she's just going to disappear forever.
Yeah.
Because it depends on what that means.
Yeah.
Like what that means for players who are coming back from injury, her production and all that good stuff. So there's a lot that goes into that. But the coolest thing is that like we have them on video, like after Coachella being like, this is our job now. Like, how do you not buy into that?
Yeah.
How do you not get emotional over that? Because now we're looking at a generation of players who didn't just grow up having limited access to the national team. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. It's the first friggin' episode. But you have players who have been dreaming of having this be their job because they've watched the league, the entire progression of their career. From like AYSO, little youth baby soccer running around in herds, because that's what happens when little kids play soccer.
Yep.
They just,
I can
it's a blob of little kids running. But you have them like being able to look at Sid and like Merritt Mathias and Paige and all these players that like have run the table, run the league. And it's players that didn't necessarily get the call-ups for their national team, but they have hard evidence that being a professional soccer player is a job. That wasn't there globally 15 years ago. And it's a big freaking deal.
You know what's also going to be an awesome point for these two newbies? The potential of getting a full legit player card made from them.
Yes, like you get playing cards. What the hell?
Like it's not going to be the like AYSO, the one that came in your photo package.
It's not it's not the photo package ones. It's like Parkside, beautifully made cards that are specific. Like it has your information on it because it's your actual roster number. It's your history.
Professional data.
Yeah, it's your professional card.
Data.
Your professional information.
All right, y'all.
But no, I think it's super important that we have moments like this and understand that these young players don't know a world without the NWSL anymore.
True.
Like,
it's been around for them. And,
yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. I mean, that's a thing of like, you know, I was just listening to another a podcast on my commute, and they were talking about it was the soccer moms.
Yeah.
And they were both talking about the idea of like the CBA. They were relating the W's CBA talks that are currently going on with the CBA and stuff that was going on with the NWSL and with the national team players, and the grit that some of those players had about like, look, we're fighting for these rights for like maternity leave, for decent pay, for like all of these things.
Yeah.
And they all were fighting for it. They were also fighting for it in a way where they had a very realistic view that it wasn't going to happen for them, but they were still fighting for it because it was going to happen for the future generations. And, you know, and we've heard like little inklings of like, of, you know, when you have these veteran players and these new players and they're like, oh, we're getting a check for this thing. And
Yes,
it's, like,
it's the Alex Morgan, Naomi Girma conversation of Girma being like, dang, I wish I was getting like a bonus check. And Alex looking at her going, you don't want this.
Yeah.
This means you didn't get it when you were supposed to get it. This means you had to fight for it. You're getting it included in your normal, like, it's normal for you now. And Naomi said she kind of looked at her and went, oh, shit. Like, I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
It's not an end of the year bonus. It's, you should have received this pay over the last 15 years, but we were shortchanging you because you're women and literally for no other reason.
So knowing that these two players are coming into this, and even Casey, and even a bit of like Angela and they're coming into this league, this world where the league's been around for a while. And it's been around for most of their kind of playing career. So this is what they were going to do. You know, they had the opportunity that this was an option for them post school, post club soccer, but you know, so I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. And it's like the same thing. I've talked about it in seasons past. Like, the WNBA started when I was 10, turning 11, 28 years. I've just watched women's basketball like it was no big deal and easy to find. And it was accessible. And for a while down the street at the Forum before they moved to Staples Center, like this is their version of that. And it's just so cool.
Yeah. And then you think about like your tias and stuff like that who like are into it too, but they didn't have that.
Yeah, like my aunts are season ticket holders for the Sparks, and they have been since day one. My mom and I had tickets for the first, I think, 5 or 6 years, and then life just got too busy for me as an athlete. But they didn't have this. Yeah, they had the ABL. They like my mom and my tias like joke. They're like, yeah, we existed before Title IX. Like, we didn't have access to things. If we wanted them, we had to fight for them. We had to beg for them. And I was still doing that in high school 20 years ago. But like, I still had so much more access to what they had. And now it's becoming less and less of an issue. Fingers crossed it stays that way, because I swear to God, if we have to do this bullshit again, there should be hell to pay.
We're keeping the hype. We're not going to go down that train or that road just yet. So to kind of close this all out, one thing that I wanted to bring up, and I put it up here, and I didn't remember that I put it in here in all caps and bold and made it
and a larger font.
In larger font. So I'm gonna talk about it, and it's been a thing that I've just had a fun, stupid little idea of doing, and you know, it doesn't have to be a thing. It's my own thing, but this is the year of the San Andreas Cup. I've been talking about the San Andreas Cup as like
since we started this thing.
Yeah, since we started this thing, because
since Bay FC was announced.
Yes, so we have Bay FC, we have us, and then we have San Diego. And funny enough, we're all on the San Andreas fault. So it's just a fun thing. I've been working on a stupid little trophy with the giant crack in it. It's fun. You know, if you happen to go to sanandreascup.com, you might find something.
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
So let me
I
have my
forgot
thing.
about that. So please
All
let
right.
us know if you want to participate in Mario's quest to make this happen. It does
doesn't-
kind of feel that he was trying to make fetch happen, but who knows? We'll do a vote in Discord, in the Discord and on Instagram to see how people really feel about it.
I'm totally fine if by making it happen, it's just me celebrating my own stupid little tracking of
I was going to
the
say, I want to make
matches.
sure everyone knows that you actually track this. There's a spreadsheet
Yes.
just for him at this point.
It's all for fun. It's all good. You got to make yourself, happy and laugh when you can. So that's exactly what it's for. All right. Well,
It also
as
feels
we're
really
wrapping-
ominous. Also, like the San Andreas Cup, as it's like down the state. Like, no thanks.
all right. So with all of that, we have just as a reminder, we have our home opener at BMO this weekend, 3/16. Give me a hell yeah. Against the San Diego Wave. 3:50 is the kickoff time. 12:30 is going to be the fan fest that's going to happen right outside of the stadium.
Oh,
you
also,
can't-
we didn't say this earlier. Get there early in general.
Yeah.
Green lot's closed. Half the parking
Yes.
is gone. Get
Half
your
the
asses
parking-
there early.
half the
Get
parking
parked
is
in the
gone.
blue lot, in the orange
If-
lot. Pray for
if
it. I
you-
don't know.
If you bought a season pass to the parking, please know that the fine print says that you are not guaranteed parking.
Yep.
So when you get there, if you get there, I don't know, like 20 minutes before the game starts or something like that, and the lots are completely full, you will be turned away. So just
Yeah.
FYI. Okay. If you can't make it to the game, it's going to be streaming and on TV on ESPN2, ESPN 2. It's going to be on iHeartRadio in English, and the two, I didn't write it down here, but the two radio stations in Spanish, 980 and 1330.
and KW 1330.
There you go. There is a flag and schedule magnet giveaway, and then just remember, beyond the parking, which is another thing, the LA Marathon is happening at the same time. So if you're going to be going for tailgating, so that means you're going to be getting there early, please be aware of all the road closures and whatnot. Just, make your life easier. And with that, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. There's just nothing to worry about this weekend except for getting to BMO. Also, make sure you bring clear bags. Don't bring a bag that has your stuff in it or like that isn't clear, because they will turn you away. And there'll be a ton of giveaways, not just at the gates, but at FanFest. There'll be stuff to get from supporter groups. You can bring one bottle of water in that's like this
Sealed.
big. Yeah, one sealed bottle of water.
One normal 20-ounce bottle of water. It needs to be sealed.
There's no bottle
cannot be opened.
refilling stations, but I guess that's fine.
There are fountains. I mean, you can always do the little tilty.
Yeah, but
thingy.
like, have you seen what people do to them? Have you seen
also-
Parks and Rec?
Also be aware that BMO Stadium has new metal detectors. There's a new entry
yeah.
procedure. They are scanning tickets first before you do the pass through the metal detectors. Metal detectors are these brand new fancy, like, ominous wall things that you're just supposed to like walk through, and you don't really have to like take stuff out of your pockets, whatnot. It doesn't always work. The first day that they were using it for a match, beautiful, had no problems. The second match, horrible. Everybody was stuck outside.
Oh, no.
I saw the people that were like in charge like resetting machines, and
Oh,
so
no. Give them
again,
grace.
give them grace. Get there early. It's a brand new system. These people are just doing what they can with what they're given.
Yeah, and they're not
They're
getting
not
paid
the-
enough to do it.
So, yes, give them grace. Look, everybody has to do something. So don't get pissed off at people for dumb
Exactly.
reasons. But all right, cool.
Yeah.
Now close it out.
All right. If you made it this far and you like what you heard, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, wherever you're listening, the more subscribers we get, the more we get to do this. So tell your friends, tell your family, all the good things. Make sure you check out casualfc.com for all the podcast links. We're also on YouTube now with videos, so you get to see me cry not just hear it now. Aren't you so excited? I am. Not really, but okay. On social media, you can find us at, see, I had cried and now I have like an eyelash or something. I can't freaking see. You can follow us all over social media at Casual FC Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. On BLUESKY, you can find us at casualfc.com because we are cool and we reserved it. So yeah, we're active all over the place, especially on Instagram and TikTok now that they have stopped shadow banning us since we have video. But yeah, it's a good time. We also started a very fun Discord channel that you can jump into. It's no pressure, super fun. There's pictures of animals, there's fun soccer talk, there's life conversations, all kinds of stuff. Come hang out. It's really fun. The link's in all of our bios. And if you still can't find it, DM us and we'll get it to you. The best ways to support the pod, aside from listening, are to share, like, and comment on posts and episodes and all the things. Engagement is so important, we know, because we have to feed the algorithm somehow. Like, that's our penance. Like, please, sir, may I have some more views? Like, that kind of thing.
We're trying to do something fun.
Yeah, like, we're trying to be funny. I don't know. I just cry. But we dropped new merch this week. 2 things. So head to the merch store, shop.casualfc.com to pick it up. You get our emotional support juice pouch shirt that has a fantastic nutrition label. You can also get our shirt in ode to MA, our defensive offensive queen. So yeah, we've gotten more stuff. We were literally talking merch before we started recording, and so there's a ton of stuff on the way. I'm super excited for some of it. But yeah, that's available. And then if you feel so inclined and you want to help support us monetarily without buying things, which I totally understand, check out the link in all of our bios, or you can go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod and you can throw us some cash that way. If you want to do it on a recurring basis, that's an option too. Different levels, all kinds of stuff. I don't know. It's just neat. And we appreciate it every time somebody does. Whoever gets to see the email first screenshots it and sends it to the other one, because you can leave a little message and people write nice things. And it's honestly, it's made some very bad days very good for me. And I'm sure for Mario too. Like, there's been a lot.
It has. We appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody who's like even just simply DM'd us on a post
Honestly.
that we've done. Honestly, like that, having you guys listen to us, having an audience, having fun conversations, like all of that,
and new friends.
Is amazing, and is the reason why we're doing this and why we want to keep doing it. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So last but not least, per usual, every episode, it is now officially time to start collecting the good luck for the season. So tell your friends about the pod, tell your family about the pod, post it on Instagram just because you're listening to it and you think it'd be cool, and you just share it directly from Spotify. It's like 2 clicks. It's not that hard. We bank all that. We turn it into good luck. We ship it over to the team. So do us a solid.
I'm not that far from Thousand Oaks. I can give it to them.
I'm not so far from BMO. Like, we're right here. Or Santa Monica.
Pre-game, day of, like, it's all good.
Yeah, it's like a confetti cannon that he just shoots along the 101 as people come down. Just like good luck. Pew, pew. But if you made it this far, thank you again for listening. We'll see you at BMO. Happy home opener, everyone. Bye.
Happy home opener. Bye.